It was a case that rocked Chicago. A pregnant teen shot in the head, back, chest, murdered. Her baby survived. That was in 2011. Tonight, we've learned the now 8-year-old boy has died.
Some stories don't start with a warning. Some stories walk beside you quietly until the moment they turn around and face you. On a warm August night in Chicago's southwest side, a teenage girl, 7 months pregnant, was walking home, talking to her mother on the phone. She said only 4 words, "Here I come, mama." Minutes later, that voice would be gone. Tonight, we're going into a case that shattered a family, fractured a community, and left a question echoing through Chicago's streets. How did a girl walking home become the center of a tragedy so senseless, even hardened detectives struggle to understand it? This is the story of Charinez Jefferson and the moment everything spiraled.
New at 10, CBS 2's Chris Ty shows us police are now back on the case.
She was walking through Marquette Park in the summer of 2011 with friends. Charinez Jefferson was 17 years old and 8 months pregnant when Timothy Jones appeared with a gun. She begged for her life before he shot her in the head, back, and chest. Her life was not spared, but in a story that made global headlines, her son did make it.
I can't answer why he shot her. You know, if I had the answer to that, I probably would feel much better.
Charinez's mother died before Timothy Jones was sentenced to 90 years for the murder. Her mom navigated the tricky medical waters for her grandson. Relatives tell CBS 2 a hospital nurse ended up adopting the boy, who was named Kamani.
It was supposed to be an ordinary evening. The sidewalks of Marquette Park buzzed with their usual quiet. Passing cars, kids finishing the last minutes of summer daylight, neighbors heading home. Witnesses remember seeing Charinez walking beside a friend, calm, unbothered, just a teenager, going home to her family. But there was something brewing just out of sight, 2 gangs locked in a bitter, unforgiving rivalry. A feud that had already spilled countless times into the streets, and earlier that same day, one gang member had been shot twice. He survived, but it lit a fuse inside him that would burn through everything in his path. No one on that sidewalk knew that fuse was heading straight toward Charinez. A car rolled onto West 64th Street. Witnesses say the doors opened before the car even stopped moving. Inside was Timothy Jones, known on the streets as Timo, 23 years old, fueled by anger and searching for someone from a rival crew. According to testimony, he wasn't talking, he wasn't shouting, he wasn't threatening. He just stepped out, gun in hand, scanning the street. What he found wasn't what he came for, but in a heartbeat, rage doesn't look for clarity. It looks for somewhere, anywhere to land. The first shots were meant for the man walking beside Charinez. He ran. He lived, but the person left standing, the person who hadn't threatened anyone, who wasn't part of any war, was Charinez. And then Timo turned toward her. The street fell silent. No one can say exactly what ran through her mind, what it feels like when someone lifts a gun to your head, what it feels like when your life and the life inside you hangs by a thread. But witnesses remember her voice. They remember her pleading. They remember her saying she was pregnant. They remember her begging for her life and her baby's life. And they remember the answer she got. Her last words were, "Please don't kill me, I'm pregnant." Timo then said, "Bitch," and shot her in the head. A cold word, a word with no hesitation, a word that told everyone on that block that mercy would not be coming. And then 8 shots shattered the night, 8 bullets that would change the course of 2 lives and destroy a third. Charinez collapsed onto the pavement. The sound of gunfire faded, replaced by screams. Neighbors rushing out, frantic calls being made, people kneeling beside her, trying desperately to save someone no one could reach in time. She was rushed to Christ Hospital, fighting a battle she never chose. Her baby, Kamani, was delivered in emergency surgery. He survived, but the cost was devastating. Oxygen deprivation, skull fractures, a life forever altered, and Charinez was gone. Her family would never hear her voice again. Her mother, already battling bone cancer, would never hug her daughter again. And the block where she fell would forever remember her final moments. 5 years passed before the courtroom finally filled. 5 years of waiting, 5 years of grief, 5 years of her grandmother knowing she wouldn't live long enough to speak at the sentencing. Debbie Jefferson prepared her statement anyway. It was read on her behalf 5 months after she passed away. In it, she spoke to the man who took her daughter. She spoke about her grandson, a child who couldn't play, couldn't talk, couldn't move. She spoke about a life stolen and another life barely hanging on. But one line haunted everyone listening. Maybe with one more shot, you would have taken his life too. Her words sank into the silence, heavy, bitter, unforgettable. And through it all, Timo showed no remorse, not a flicker, not a moment, not a second of regret. On July 18, 2016, Judge Nicholas Ford delivered the sentence, 90 years, a lifetime behind bars for first-degree murder and aggravated discharge of a firearm. The courtroom didn't cheer, it didn't breathe, it just accepted the weight of the moment. The prosecutors who fought the case, the detectives who pieced together every detail, they all knew this wasn't a victory. It was the closest thing to justice the family would ever get. But justice doesn't bring a daughter home. It doesn't heal a child. It doesn't ease a night like that. It only closes a chapter that should never have existed. Some crimes shake a city. Others become part of its history. But this one lingers. In a mother's final written words. In a child living with injuries he never asked for. In a community that can still point to the exact spot where everything changed. 8 shots, 1 choice, and a family shattered forever. This is the story of Charinez Jefferson, and the night Chicago will never forget.
And so this week, when the name Kamani Mims Jefferson appeared on this piece of paper, hearts sank. This is the medical examiner's log. The boy who lived inside his mother for 8 months made it 8 years on his own, dying March the 8th. The cause of death? Complications of prematurity, the medical examiner wrote. Multiple maternal gunshot wounds. Timothy Jones is 4 years into a 90-year sentence for the murder of Charinez. Whether more time will be added for the death of that 8-year-old remains unclear. Prosecutors have yet to get the case. Chicago police telling me tonight they are still investigating it as a homicide. At Marquette Park, Chris Ty, CBS 2 News.
Christopher, thank you.
All right, y'all, there y'all have it. That's the crazy story of Timo from 1140 Scrapville. R.I.P. Charinez Jefferson, her mother and her child. Hey, man, get in that comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Drillers and trappers, we outside trapping and drilling 247. Don't go nowhere. Watch that next video. Gang!